Waley's Chinese Poetry, written by Arthur Waley, narrated by Charles Featherstone. Introduction. The great transmitter of the high literary cultures of China and Japan to the English-reading general public, the ambassador from east to west in the first half of the 20th century. There have been many translators of Chinese literature and poetry over time, but Arthur Waley stands out as one of the best known and most loved. This is perhaps because he had an attribute that most others lacked, which is his poetic abilities. Waley was as much a poet himself as a translator, and while his scholarly erudition was matched by a few others at his time, none ever brought out the true character of Chinese poetry quite so well. Waley's journey was filled with unusual struggles and stories. He was born Arthur David Schloss in 1889. He was German Ashkenazi Jewish and changed his surname in 1914. He went to Rugby School and King's College in Cambridge, but left before completing his studies due to eye problems. Although highly learned, Waley avoided academic posts and most often wrote for a general audience. He chose not to be a specialist, but to translate a wide and personal range of classical literature. After a short stint in an export firm, Waley was appointed Assistant Keeper of Oriental Prints and Manuscripts at the British Museum in 1913. It is in this role that he taught himself classical Chinese and Japanese under the tutelage of his supervisor, the poet and scholar Lawrence Binyon. He became, in the words of Sacheverell Sitwell, the greatest scholar and the person with the most understanding of all human arts, yet never actually found himself in China or Japan. His expertise with languages extended to Ainu, Mongolian, Hebrew and Syriac, and yet did not include modern Mandarin Chinese or modern Japanese. Waley lived in Highgate in London and became part of the extended Bloomsbury set, the famous group of writers, artists and poets that were the cultural centre of London. It included E.M. Forster, Leonard and Virginia Woolf, and the economist J.M. Keynes, with T.S. Eliot as a friend of the Woolfs. Waley's first wife Beryl was an embedded part of the Bloomsbury set, and indeed moved far more in that world than Waley's. In 1918 he met Beryl de Zuete, with whom he lived until her death in 19...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?